wonderful family. Are you a fan of wheat? Well, if you're not a fan of wheat today, I want to make you a fan of wheat. We're going to do some delicious wheat recipes, wheat breakfast porridges. You need to know it is so important. Now you know wheat is great with fiber. That's one thing. So when it comes to wheat, you shouldn't be missing it. A serious Idrianu. So for this ones, my main ingredients were the dates, the wheat. Of course, I had some wheat rice recipe. So I have some rice here, and then I have my salt to taste. So one way you could do, which is the way, the original way, is to wash your wheat and then you boil it. You can try to pre-soak it to get it a bit softer to save you cooking time, or you could just put it on fire directly and let it cook, but have enough water around it because it's going to swell up and it's going to take a lot of water to cook properly, especially the whole grain, which has a lot of fiber and on it. Then I added in my dates in there with my salt when it was almost cooked, like halfway there. And if you cover your wheat, it's going to spill over. So it's always good to open it up and yeah, let it cook by itself. So like I said, have enough water around it. And as it's going down, it's going to thicken. And once you're done, let it cool a little bit so that the water around it thickens. So this is the original way to go about your wheat. Now my second way I do it is to mill the wheat, which gives you that smooth texture. Now you could just mill it like that, or you could mill it with rice. It's all up to you. So you could also just mill rice with the wheat and do it smooth. This is good for weaning babies, honestly. And my mom likes the rice one because the rice has its own texture to it. Yes. So you could just do it smooth, or you could just do it with the rice, and you just add in your salt and your water, mix it beautifully, let it go on fire. And this one, even though you need water, I don't need so much water like the first one. For the first one, you need to take about 4 or 5 times more water than the wheat. But for this, if you're taking one part of wheat with the rice or one part of just the wheat, you just need, how do you call it, 2 parts of water. Yes. So this is the wheat rice recipe, which yes, I did. And when it's too thick, you add in your water. If it's too thin, just need to let it cook for longer. This one you can't mix and add some because the stage is gotten to, if you add raw once, it's going to turn something else. So if it's too thin, you just have to let it sit on fire for longer to cook for longer for it to thicken. And yeah, once you see the bubbles, you know you are there. So I just decorate it with some coconut shredded. Yes, and another way you could do your wheat rice, if you don't want it smooth, you want it a bit chaffy, a bit rough, is to pre-boil your wheat because wheat takes longer to cook than your rice, and you soak your rice as well. I told you for every rice water or rice porridge dish, you need to soak your rice properly. I talked about this in my rice porridge recipes. If you've not tried that one out, you can check it out as well. So when you pre-soak it, it makes it easy to cook and it makes it less grainy. I didn't start with the rice and the wheat at the same time because wheat takes longer to cook than rice. So once that is done, you could also serve this with your groundnut and your milk. And yeah, so you remember the first thing I did was to blend the wheat. So this is the wheat blend without anything in there. So this one, there's no rice in this one. It's just a wheat blend. And one way you could cook your wheat without using so much um, energy or fuel is to soak it up a bit. So this one I added in the salt and the water, but then what I did was to let it sit for a while before it went onto the fire. And when it went onto the fire, you need to make sure you stir at the initial stages for it to form a little bit. Then you leave it to boil. For this one, if you're doing just the wheat, it's just like you cooking the wheat without blending it. You need the water and you need time. So it's going to take us time to cook properly. But when you're done, it may look runny, but then don't be tempted to do it too thick. Because if you do it too thick, by the time it's properly done cooking and it sits to relax, it's going to be too tough. So it's better to have it a little bit runny when you do it. And we can check. You can just pick a little bit and feel it with your hand. It's going to be smoother and softer. That means your wheat is done. And when you're done, just cover it and let it sit for a little while for it to firm up. And you are done. And I served it with my granola beautifully there. So yeah, these are different ways you could have your wheat. You could have it smooth, you could have it with rice, which is a good companion. You could have it with, you know, smooth rice, smooth wheat. You could just do it a regular rough fibrous wheat. So yes, wheat, I told you, they are so nutritious. These are things we shouldn't be missing. These are breakfasts we need in our system. So start your day right. Start your day with a beautiful wheat dish. Charlie, this one, make sure you try. Make sure you send me a picture of yours. So let's see who's is more beautiful. And then yeah, breakfast is the most important dish for the day. So I see the next food video. Lots of love for my team and I. Do subscribe, do like, do share. Mwah.